Hi guys, I just wanted to pop in and see if you guys are actually participating in the International Space Apps Challenge through NASA. It's open to coders and non-coders. It's a 2-day event. It's actually next Friday through Sunday, so April 10th through 12th. I did contact Beth Beck, the program manager. She was very open to connecting me with someone who could answer just a couple questions that I had. And what was interesting, one thing, there's an open NASA platform where you can use that data. It's not just open to coders. It's for non-coders, designers, artists, entrepreneurs, and it was very inclusive. I actually had Elizabeth Sabet. She's actually gonna come on and pop in for a few seconds just to answer just a few questions that I had, hopefully to get our community pumped up just a little bit about participating next week. I know it's Easter, so we're not gonna hold you long. Also, I have someone else coming, and her name is Liani Yirka, and she's from the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. She's a curator of special populations here in Raleigh, and they have an app for people with disabilities. It's a museum app. It's free. You could download it off of through the Apple Store. Had a rough time this morning. I was gonna hang out outside, and it was a little bit too windy out there. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Well, I tried to do a hangout outside on my front porch, and it was too windy. It almost blew away. Yeah. Well, I only had a few questions. I was excited when I heard about that app, museum app, and it's the first one ever, right? Internationally or nationally?
It is the first that we know of internationally that incorporates accessibility features. So when we built it from the ground up, we built it so that accessibility was the main component. And then we made it look pretty and everybody can use it, but really we started with accessibility from the ground up, and no other museum has done that.
And it's available at the Apple Store, right?
Yes.
Free.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
And did you guys present it in October? That was the first I heard. When was it available?
We launched October 1st.
Right. Okay. My birthday's October 4th, so that's a great month.
Yeah. It was a really exciting month. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I only had like a few questions, and I'm not going to hold you.
Oh, sure, that's fine.
Yeah. Being that we're going so much into technology, why this app is needed so much, and it is a museum guide app for North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Yeah, so some people that may not be technology savvy, why is this app needed so much?
So this app, what it does is provide freedom for visitors who interact with the world differently and who might have a disability or might have a different learning style. It provides them with the ability to determine what their visit to the museum might look like, might be, which exhibits they might want to visit, and where they're located, and gives them some more information about what they might experience while they're here, because of video and audio files of the different exhibits. And so it provides a level of freedom that was previously missing, especially for our visitors who have disabilities. If you imagine somebody who's visually impaired doesn't have the ability to know which exhibits are in the museum unless they have an app like this, or someone comes with them and provides them with a guide of some kind. And so this allows somebody with a visual impairment to navigate the museum much more independently and fully, right? So they have some freedom to determine if they like the snakes exhibit, they want to go learn about that. Whereas if they come with a friend who is guiding them and they really don't like the snakes exhibit, they might not know that there is an exhibit on snakes. So it provides a level of independent navigation, a level of freedom, and a level of enhanced visitor experience for people who have disabilities, which was previously missing within our facility. We tried the best we can, but this technology just provides and opens a door that's really great.
Being that you are the curator of special populations, was it something that was needed, or it was inspired?
So when I began in this position, we were using these old school audio wands that are about a foot and a half long, skinny wands that provided an audio stop. So just audio content that it was incorporated and correlates to some of the exhibits in our Nature Exploration Center. And a lot of those wands were breaking, they were getting old and antiquated in some ways, and they cost a lot of money to repair and replace, and on a good day we had about 8 out of a set of 50 that worked. And so I started looking at ways to replace that, because that audio content was really an enhancement and increased visitor experiences for people with visual impairments. That was the goal, and it was bilingual, so it provided some content to people who speak Spanish as their primary language. So I wanted to, it's really great. It's a great technology. It's just, it was 15 years old when, in 2000, well, I guess 12 years old in 2012. So I wanted to replace that, and I didn't really necessarily want to pay the price of replacing each of those wands because technology had advanced so greatly. So I started looking at ways of enhancing visitor experiences without replacing those individual wands. And I met with a wonderful gentleman who works at SAS, Ed Summers, who's their manager for their accessibility team. And he showed me some of the really great things he was doing with incorporating highly visual data like maps and graphs and charts into the iPad for people who are visually impaired. He himself is blind. So the partnership began from there, and I said, wow, that kind of visual data, the mapping and the charts and the graphs, we don't use the charts and the graphs as much, but we definitely could use a map that people can independently navigate, and then we can just embed those audio files into a map. So that was really the goal, and that was my goal, was to improve visitor experiences and replace those audio wands with something that was, I guess, more state-of-the-art or more advanced technologically and most cost-effective. So we applied for a grant to fund the project, which really was, the goal was to increase visitor experience and increase accessibility. And the grant provided us was from the Institute Museum and Library Services, and it's a federally funded grant. They gave us just under $20,000 to create this app, and a huge proportion of the creation is thanks to SAS and to Ed and his team that he pulled in, and they did all of the coding and the creation on the back end, and we do all the content management. And so that was really the impetus, was to enhance museum visitation, so that people who have disabilities and people who don't are more on the same playing field and on an even ground, as opposed to what people without disabilities experience and then what people with disabilities experience when they come to the museum. So I just really wanted to even that out, and give everybody the chance to love the museum.
Is it something that's going to be available to other museums?
So theoretically, yes, but our code and our map is dedicated to our museum. So and I am no computer genius.
Right.
I really rely I rely really heavily on SAS's expertise to put this together, and we do most of the content management, the science component, what is about our museum. So for another museum, a zoo, an aquarium, for them to be able to do this, they would need to find a collaborator similar to SAS, or talk to the folks at SAS, because they have a lot of good vibes to helping museums like this. And they would have to create a mapping system that works for their individual layout of their museum. But the concept, it can transverse all museums, all institutions, cultural resources, art museums, history museums, you name it. And even beyond that, things like airports and malls and grocery stores could all really benefit people with visual impairments who would love to see this there. And that's what we heard when we evaluated the app is they would love for something like this to be available at the mall or at the airport terminal so they know where they're going.
So you're opening me up to coding. Like, I mean, I could learn it, but I don't know. So we have Elizabeth here too from NASA, and they're actually doing a Space Apps Challenge where no coding is required, but I'm sure you need a coder somewhere.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us, Elizabeth. Thank you, Liani. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you so much. You can stay on if you like.
Sure.
But I'll minimize. This is my first Google Hangout, so bear with me just a little bit. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Rayshawn. How are you?
I tried
Thanks for inviting me to chat with you about this.
Liani,
it was wonderful to hear what you're doing at your museum, and I'm pretty excited about this app and its potential.
And I know NASA and SAS has worked together on a previous project, so I know there's connections somewhere in here. They had a great iBook that they put out together.
Awesome.
And thank you for joining us. I know that NASA's Space Apps Challenge starts next Friday. Sunday.
That's right. That's right.
12th, and you use NASA's data, right?
Exactly.
Open source, Open NASA. This is Elizabeth Sabet, right?
Well, we've been working with NASA and their Open Innovation team particularly since 2012 to conceive and execute the International Space Apps Challenge, which is one of NASA's biggest open community initiatives. So it's been really exciting to be able to collaborate with them for the past 4 years and see how this group and this community around the world that's using NASA data has grown and expanded.
You guys, is this the first year for the Space Apps Challenge, or?
This is the 4th year of the Space Apps Challenge.
Are you kidding me? Seriously?
No, I'm not kidding. It's interesting, actually, because it started kind of as an experiment back in 2012 to see if this was something that the community would be excited about engaging in, and really NASA's first foray into the space of hackathons and that kind of thing. And we thought at that point we'd have, maybe 7 or 8 cities get involved and get excited. That first year we had 25 cities who ended up participating all around the world, and it's grown every year since. This year we have 136 cities around the world who are going to be simultaneously working together, hacking on NASA data over the course of the weekend of April 10th, 11th, 12th. It's going to be more than 10,000 people.
That's great. I saw some participants actually virtually, what was it, 5,000 Earthlings? It's probably more now, right?
A lot of people also participate virtually. If there's not a local physical event or that they can come to in their particular location, we invite them to just sign up online, participate virtually, find a team online, work with other folks that they meet around challenges that they get excited about, and just participate from anywhere they are on the planet. Yeah,
being that Liani and I are based in Raleigh, North Carolina, I did see a site, an actual location in Greensboro, at Greensboro Community College.
That's right.
An hour and 45 minutes away from us. And I hope we get more participation here. It's a great initiative or event for NASA, and I wish I would have known a few years before.
I hope so. I mean, it's really an incredible opportunity to come out and interact directly with NASA, and for anybody who's excited about space exploration or about data and technology to offer their skills, whether you're a coder or whether you're not a coder, whether you're an artist or a designer or a storyteller or a writer, all those skills are really important and relevant in producing a project that can make an impact. And this is a chance for anybody who's excited about some of these themes to come out, to participate, to share their ideas with NASA. All of the challenges that are put up on the spaceappschallenge.org homepage are important issues to NASA. They're mission relevant, and so this is really NASA's way of opening up NASA's mission to the global community, not even just the US community, but internationally, and saying, give us your thoughts, share with us your innovation. We know that breakthrough innovation happens when people come together from all different places, all different backgrounds, all different points of view, and that's what can really push us forward, and this is a chance to do that.
Apps for mobile applications. What other types of apps?
There are all kinds of apps, and really many of these challenges are quite open-ended to allow people to develop responses that could be mobile applications or web applications. They could be sort of physical products. They could be They could be robotics solutions. People in the past have actually developed things like physical space helmets and uniforms and things that involve sensors and wearable technology. So there are a lot of different directions that people could go. It's called the Space Apps Challenge, but it's not only about apps.
What caught my eye was no coder experience needed. That's what caught my eye. I'm pretty sure I have to have one on my team, right?
Not always, not always. Not all the challenges are specifically coding challenges. There's some challenges that are around music and arts and other things like that. There are definitely going to be a lot of coders participating, and there are a lot of challenges that do involve development. But one of the things that we really want to emphasize as part of the Space Apps Challenge is you don't have to be a coder to participate. In fact, a team is much stronger when it's not all coders, but there are people with different skills coming in, because you need people not only who can write code, but people who can do design and make things look nice, people who can tell the story of a project and share why it's valuable and why it matters, people who can do video and film, and who can really create a cool project pitch. All of those things are really important in creating a project that comes together well. So it's not just about code, though a lot of projects will involve some pretty cool code too.
There's a people choice vote that happens. Does that happen Sunday, or is it online, or?
That's right, Rayshawn. That's exactly right. On Sunday afternoon, at all the different physical locations around the world, people are going to present their projects to their fellow participants and to a panel of judges. And in each location around the world, the participants are going to choose one People's Choice winner from their own city. And then all of those are going to go up to the NASA panel for judging. They're going to narrow it down to a group of about 25 or so, and then they're going to put that out to the whole world for anyone to vote on the spaceappschallenge.org website on their favorite project. And so it's really a chance for everybody around the world to see some of the results of the Space Apps Challenge, participants' work, and then to vote on what they think is the coolest project that's out there. In addition to that, a NASA team is also going to be narrowing down winners in 5 different categories, and also identifying global winners in those categories. So there's going to be a NASA panel judging winners, and there's an opportunity for the global audience to pick their own favorite as well.
And so the website is 2015-2015.spaceappschallenge.org.
That's right.
All right. And open source data. We can use NASA's data. How can we use NASA's data? Why are you giving us your data free?
Well, NASA actually has been open sourcing their data for years, and of course they have an incredible amount of data about space and about the universe, as well as about our planet, that they're collecting every day, every minute. Such an incredible volume that it really requires the input and effort of many more people than NASA just has on staff alone to really be able to dig into it deeply and to understand it and make effective use of that vast quantity of data. And so that's why NASA has been actively putting this data out to the world for the past few years and is really promoting use of that data through Space Apps Challenge. In particular, they have a fantastic new data portal for all their open data that they've just launched a couple of weeks ago, data.nasa.gov. It's just been revamped. It's really easy to use, easy to understand, and we really invite people, whether you're participating in the Space Apps Challenge or not, to check out data.nasa.gov and all of the cool data sets that are on there. There are a lot of interesting things you can do.
Actually, if you had a message that you could give to your 11-year-old self, what your mission and your passion was of what you're doing now.
Well, I was quite a big space enthusiast when I was 11 years old, and so I would have told myself that that it's worth pushing through on some of the challenges that I face in my 11-year-old life, because someday I'm going to have an opportunity to work on challenges that affect all of us as humans around the world and affect our human family, working with NASA and other incredible organizations and people everywhere. And it's really it's such a privilege to be able to work on a project like this that is for the benefit of humanity and bringing people together to work on something that matters to us all.
If you're a curator with the museum,
Mm-hmm.
what would you tell your 11-year-old self? And you were ready, when you may not have had the support from some of your friends or your peers, or maybe your family, you know, about the field that you wanted to go in. Because a lot of times when a child is actually trying to figure out what they want to do, especially when they graduate from high school, even beyond, you have so many things that influence you that people tend to tell you to focus towards money. You know, focus that, you know. So what would you tell your 11-year-old self?
I definitely Yeah, money is a happiness, and I've been with the museum since I was in high school. And my best friends and my husband all are people who I met here. So as an 11-year-old, I would say stick to your guns. There's been a lot of pressure, I think, to go into fields that make more money, from friends, from family, from all sorts of people, and stick to your guns. And also, I think I would have told myself that what you dream of doing isn't necessarily the right path. I wanted to be a veterinarian, and I find that I'm really good at what I do, and I get really excited and passionate about it. And so, yeah, be open to changing your dreams a little bit, and then you might find better ones.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Both of you ladies. I do want to just make sure that I give the correct contact information. The link to access the museum guide app for North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. So you would go to, what's the website for, well, the app, they could go to the Apple Store or
Yeah.
and type in, and then you would search what, is that the only app available for you guys?
It's the only app for our museum. So, and then the official name of the app is NC, like North Carolina, then a
Right.
space, and then NAT, N-A-T, Sci, S-C-I, like natural and science, but put together, shortened and put together. So NC space NAT Sci is the name of the app.
You know, so thank you, both of you, for coming on, and I hope you have a great weekend. I don't know if you celebrate Easter or whatever. Have a great Easter and a great day, a Good Friday.
Thank you, Rayshawn. You too.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you
Bye, ladies.
later.
Bye.
Bye.